Hey everybody, Will Fix here. Banks pivot from Bitcoin to XRP. What in the world could I be talking about? Well, we're going to look at an article, and that is a little bit of speculation. It's going to make perfect sense here in just a few minutes. So we're going to take a look at this article and some new regulations that the Bank of International Settlements has put on banks concerning Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies. Before we get into that article, I want you to have an opportunity to get yourself a decent wallet. This is what I use. I love it. I've owned a bunch of wallets. I'm telling you, the decent wallet is superior. I had issues with nano ledgers and other wallets getting HBAR and XDC into the wallet. You had to create files and do some convoluted things. With this, all you do is send it in like you do the other coins. I suggest this wallet, the application that you get on your phone, and you can see everything displayed beautifully on the app that they provide. Get yourself a decent wallet, pick one up, use my link in the description. All right, here we go. Here's the article. The BIS releases new requirements for banks looking to hold XRP and other Group 2 assets. There's been a little bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt created by this new requirement. People misunderstanding what's being said here, thinking XRP needs to qualify with Tier 1 and Asset Tier 2 requirements, but that's not the case. This is a requirement for the banks. Let's look at it, though. Let's look and see what it is, and I've put a title in here about the idea of banks getting rid of Bitcoin and getting XRP. Let me show you why I believe that. All right, let's get into the article. The Bank for International Settlements, BIS, has released new requirements for banks looking to hold XRP and other Group 2 crypto assets. The BIS, which positions itself as a bank for central banks globally, has introduced new regulations governing banks' exposure to Group 2 cryptocurrencies. Notably, the BIS has in the past defined what Group 2 crypto assets are in an effort to separate them from other cryptocurrencies. Group 2 assets include unbacked crypto assets such as XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. The category also contains stable coins that lack effective stability mechanisms, according to the BIS classification. These assets are riskier due to their volatility. The Bank of International Settlements released its new requirement criteria for holding these assets in a publication yesterday. Notably, prominent XRP community figure Erie called out attention to the publication in a recent post on X. BIS latest requirement for banks holding crypto. In the latest requirements, the BIS has stipulated that a bank's total exposure to all these Group 2 assets must not exceed 1% of its Tier 1 capital. For the uninitiated, the Tier 1 capital represents a bank's core capital. This capital is the primary financial buffer that absorbs losses, ensuring the bank's reliability. Per the BIS requirement, if a bank with $1 trillion in their Tier 1 capital seeks to hold XRP and other assets in Group 2, the combined worth of all assets must not be more than $10 billion for the 1 trillion figure they're using. In addition, the BIS requires that no single Group 2 cryptocurrency can constitute more than 5% of the total Group 2 holdings. To put this into perspective, if the bank's total Group 2 holdings amount to $10 billion, its XRP holding alone must not exceed $500 million. The same applies to other Group 1 assets. These limits are an effort to reduce the risk posed by the fluctuating value of these crypto assets. While cryptocurrencies have garnered public attention in recent times, certain events have exposed the risk associated with them. These events include the Terra implosion of May 2022 and the FTX collapse of November 2022. Now stay tuned till the end of this article, because I'm going to then add in some of my thoughts and show you where I believe the banks will get rid of Bitcoin and get XRP, because that's probably why you're here. So hang on, we'll do that at the end. Per the publication, the BIS recent requirements are set to take in effect January 1st, 2026. The criteria could reshape how financial institutions interact with assets like XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. XRP adoption among banks as crypto goes mainstream. Crypto regulations have taken focus in recent times as the industry pushes further into the mainstream scene. For instance, the European Union recently enacted the first part of the MiCA regulation affecting stablecoin. Mainstream banks have begun gaining exposure to crypto assets. Recall that last December, the Basel Committee disclosed the crypto holdings of 19 banks across different regions. The disclosure confirmed that these banks held 205 million in XRP at the time. Despite this, XRP has not commanded as much adoption from banks as financial institutions due to the ongoing SEC lawsuit. Anderson, a crypto researcher, argued in February that XRP might not see increased adoption by banks until the U.S. SEC publicly declares it's not a security, and it has done that, hasn't it? So I don't know if this is a mistake or, if they just pulled some old knowledge out there, because this article is brand new. So let's go back, and I want to show you what I think about what's being said here. We're going to read this part again, and then we're going to, apply our minds to it a little bit. If a bank with $1 trillion in Tier 1 capital seeks to hold XRP and other assets in Group 2, so they're holding XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, or just Bitcoin or Ethereum or just XRP, whatever the case, the combined worth of all assets must not be more than 10 billion in a 1 trillion Tier 1. In addition, the BIS requires that no single Group 2 cryptocurrency can constitute more than 5% of the total Group 2 holdings. To put this into perspective, the bank's total Group 2 holdings amount to 10 billion. Its XRP holdings alone must not exceed 500 billion. The same applies to the other Group 1 assets. So, if you're holding a ton of Bitcoin, you're going to have to cut that back to the 5%, aren't you? So if you're holding that as a store of value, you're going to have to offload it. Now, why are you going to want to offload it for XRP? Well, because XRP has a utility. You're actually wanting to use XRP. You're wanting to use it in your accounts to send and receive payments. So that's going to require them to do some adjustments where it's out of sorts. So they'll want to build up their XRP, which is utility, and get rid of the ones that aren't utility. I don't know what banks do with Ethereum. I don't know that Ethereum is even something that can do cross-border payments, but that would be Ethereum money leaving Ethereum and going to XRP as well, because the bank is going to be more interested in the utility. Here's another thought. It's only been the larger banks that have been doing cross-border payments, and the reason is all of the Nostro Vostro accounts necessary for all of the different currencies meant that a bank had to have huge sums of money in those accounts. Well, smaller banks don't have that for settlement reasons, so they would pay the bigger banks to do cross-border payments. But now that's not going to be a problem, is it? Because XRP has shown up. So now, instead of the money that's been stacked up just for the larger banks for using cross-border money for cross-border payments, all of the banks will be able to do cross-border payments. So it's opened up the playing field, which means many, many, many banks will be needing to get XRP and then falling into this standard. So I see this as good news because it's regulation and safety, and banks like that. So anyway, that's what we had for you today. I hope you enjoyed the article and my take on it. Hey, if you differ in opinion, go ahead and put that in the comments. Let's talk about it. And as far as today, that's all I have. I'll see you next video.